Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Rebecca for those of you that don't yet know me. And on this channel, we talk about all things bookkeeping, accounting, Excel, and business related. So whether you're a student, a business owner, or an accountant or bookkeeper, it is definitely relevant for you, so stick around. Now, in these podcasts that I have been producing on the YouTube channel from this month going forward, which is going to be a weekly thing, I'm bringing on certain guests onto the channel to talk about different topics that are all relevant to, again, business owners, bookkeepers, accountants, students. And when I don't have a guest on the channel, I'm going to be talking about a particular topic that I think is really relevant specifically to business owners, which is AML, so anti-money laundering. So I'm going to be doing these little 10-minute sort of bite-sized sessions, and maybe even less than that, every single week, just to keep you on top of AML. So make sure to tune into those. So I'm just going to jump on very quickly with my first session. So this is going to be a bit weird because episode 2 of the podcast, which is this AML session, is going to be released after episode 3 with Ashley Leeds, but bear with me. So just for you, those of you that are at home, and don't do this if you're driving and you're listening to this, but show of hands, anybody who does actually feel comfortable with AML. And I bet there's not that many. So my second question is, have you undertaken any AML training in the past or this year, or are you going to? Because if you're a bookkeeper or an accountant in particular, you need to be making sure that you are doing AML training on an annual basis at the very, very minimum. I'm just closing down my emails a second because they're going to keep popping up. There we go. And also, are you aware of any free AML resources that you have available to you? And if the answer to that is no, then do not worry, because I've got plenty of links at the end of this YouTube video that I'm going to put into the comment section and description section, actually, where you can click on there and find out more information, just to do a little bit of your own research as well. So I have 4 basic areas of AML that I talk about all the time. So if you are a bookkeeper and you're brand new to AML, you'll have done a little bit in your studies around ethics. And the reason why we talk about AML in particular is because there are numerous risks associated with AML and running a business. So there's 4 things that you want to be making sure that you're doing as a bookkeeper or accountant, and also a business owner, but more so as a bookkeeper and accountant, because we are required to do so, which is making sure that you have done your annual AML training. And you could do that through various resources. So you could do it through Mercer Group, have an AML training course, CPD Store have one, your professional body, so AAT, ICB, etc., may have one also, which is worth looking into. But if you do any kind of AML training, please make sure that you're documenting that as part of your annual CPD, which is continual professional development. So you want to be having just a simple Excel spreadsheet that has this documented to say the date you went on the training, what the training entailed, was it live, was it in person, how long was it, how many CPD units did you have, and if you gained a certificate, then save that down as well. Now, if you're a bookkeeper or an accountant, you need to be registered with the NCA, which is National Crime Agency, and again, I'll leave a link to that below. I'm not going to go into that too much, but just make sure that you have that registration. You need to have what we call a money laundering reporting officer, or MLRO, in your firm. And if you are a sole trader, good news, that's you, or your professional body will presume it's you. And if you have other staff members working with you and it's somebody else, then you need to make sure that that professional body knows who that is. And with all of your training that you have and documents and processes in your firm, that individual is documented as being an MLRO, and all the staff members in your firm, including yourself, know who that is. And finally, you need to make sure that you have an ICO registration in place. So again, I will leave a link to that in the comment section for you. And any questions on those basic things, so the training, the NCA, MLRO, and ICO, then put those in the comment section, as I'm always happy to answer. And very quickly, I'm just going to talk about the ATP approach, which I bang on about in some of the other Facebook groups and things. But basically, when you're looking at AML, sometimes it's really difficult to get a grasp of where to start with it. But the way that I always action it, or look at it, is that if you're doing anything to do with AML at all, you need to have an action thought process. So I call it the ATP approach, something that I've completely made up, but very, very relevant. So with the ATP approach, you need to make sure that you are, if you're thinking about AML and you're thinking about processes, etc., or you've had a thought process as you've been going through AML, such as looking at transactions, etc., or reviewing pieces of documentation. That's the thought process in the ATP. The action is actually doing the doing, and the process part is the written process. So have you written down what you've done, why you've done it, what the objective was, etc., what the outcome was, etc., etc. So ATP. So it's not enough to simply have AML information up here. We need to document it. We need to have processes, written processes and controls, and training guides, etc., within our firm. So if you're unsure on any of that and you're with a professional body, then you can always go on the website, and they usually have free resources that you can download. Otherwise, again, add comments in the comment section. I'm more than happy to answer. And next week, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on red flags. And I also have lovely Danielle from Go Proposal talking about AML with me. It's a bit of a coffee chat, so you can ask questions there as well. So that's going to be, I think it's the 15th of November. So it's not next week, it's the week after, because next week I'm down in London at the ICB Summit. And Brighton as well with QuickBooks on the Thursday. So I'm back the week after. So yeah, I think it's the 15th, but it is on the YouTube channel as well for you to catch up on. But otherwise, I will catch you at the next mini podcast.